We're back again with another episode of the Seven Voice Podcast. I'm still your host, Azeez Adesanya. We have another episode today that we bring in another special guest to this podcast. And someone I have today, I'll call him my brother. He's an investor, he's a father, he's a fashion entrepreneur, he's a style coach. His name is Patrice Milord. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name properly. I want to use my French knowledge today.
Close enough.
Close enough?
Close enough.
My brother, thank you so much for coming on my podcast today. I think you should be able to pronounce your name properly to my audience, and I want people to know who you are, because even from looking at you, I know they might have a little bit of idea who you could be, but I want you to tell people who you are.
So the correct pronunciation is Patrice Milord, and it's a French name, so I could see why, especially Anglophones have a hard time.
Why both are speaking?
Well, at least you didn't call me Patricia, so we're good on that.
That's good. I really appreciate you coming to the podcast today. You know, I as I said, you're a brother to me, and I know you from investing community, right? But the first day I saw you, the way you dressed was very unique, and I was kind of puzzled, like, I want to know what he does here. Is he an investor as well? Because we both belong to the same real estate investing community. But when I get close to you, I get to know that, wow, this is what I'm looking is your passion. It is your business as well, right? I want us to start from the fashion part before I even get into real estate. Where did this passion come from? The way you dress? What does it mean to you for people to dress different? And where does the passion with the business come in? Why did you start it?
Like, dressing well it's basically how you want to show up to the world, how you want to be perceived. And it also helps you in terms of how you perceive yourself. Because when I throw on that suit, I think like I'm a Superman, like have my cape on.
Exactly.
Whereas when I'm not dressed up, like I feel differently.
Do you think dressing, from your own perspective, do you think dressing could increase someone's confidence?
Absolutely. You look at yourself in the mirror, you look good, you feel good, and everything that you're able to attract by dressing up and just making simple changes that you can make to elevate your look. Like, every day, someone compliments me in terms of the way I dress.
Exactly. That's
Flowers for me, and people just approach me, and that's just a first conversation starter. So the way you introduce yourself by dressing well, you don't even have to speak.
I remember you shared a story that day about, I think we're going to pivot a little bit about real estate, maybe when we reach that side, but it's a business for you now. It's just not passion. It's just not your way of life. When do you know that helping people to dress better, to show up with more confidence with their dress, when do you know that it could be a business for you? When does it turn to that for you?
I started off by selling men accessories, pocket squares and ties. And then people started asking me randomly about like style advice, what to wear. And then I said, well, why don't I make this a business? Because it's something that I can do with my eyes closed. I can just open my wardrobe and mix and match colors. I'm good at pairing. I'm good at, especially the fit, because that's key. So a lot of people have approached me, and I kind of explained the benefits of dressing up, dressing well. And it did completely transform their businesses in terms of increasing more sales. For people that want to attract their significant other, they're able to have more looks.
Interesting.
For that job interview, you're more prepared, you feel more prepared, and basically you get better results by dressing up.
Wow. I want to ask you a question, because you mentioned a lot of group of people that you work with now, like, people that are looking for significant other, business owners, salespeople. What's the demographic of the people that you work with the most? What industry do you think most of your clients come from?
Entrepreneurs and business people, because they do understand the power of sales and being able to attract clients and have a good brand and a good presence. So that's who I work with the
most. And your clients, what are the things, like, when I work with people, I'm an investor, I'm a real estate agent. When I work with people, I always want to hear their feedback, right? I don't know. A lot of people, you said you work with different industries and entrepreneurs. What are the things you hear back from them as feedback when they tell you that, wow, with your coaching and everything, this is what I've been able to attract? Is it only the business, or is there something that also changing there?
Absolutely. You'd be surprised because when I do have that first consultation, we talk about their style, what are some of the challenges with respect to dressing well. And then we dig a little bit more, and then you see that there are more layers there. So there could be self-esteem issues, there could be lack of confidence issues that's behind this. They don't want to be seen, they don't want to be in the spotlight, and all those things. There's things behind it that we dig a little bit more. So I'm able to bring that out in people. So that's not just about dressing up; it's about understanding what your client needs and how to help them.
So what I'm hearing from you now, it's not just, okay, what should I be wearing? It's about, why do you want to wear this? Why do you even feel like you're not showing up properly? Does that mean you feel like you're doing a little bit of, coaching in terms of like the mindset as well, or just the clothing? Or you think it's kind of both to be able to get to
When I first started, I thought it was just
listen?
dressing up and putting uh, outfits together. But then when you dig a little bit more and you start talking to people, you kind of see that there is a pattern, and you need to dig a little bit more because it goes beyond that. So we do a lot of consultation, and we dig a lot of deeper in terms of what's holding them back. Why are they not paying attention to the way they dress? And it's a reflection of how they feel about themselves, how they feel on the inside.
How do you feel? Okay, what about, okay, so for someone like me, I mean, obviously as a man, you want to show up, like, dress properly, especially when you're still young, you're looking for significant others. You mentioned you want to dress normal. If you're going for business, you want to dress normal. But sometimes I just want to kind of dress simple. Is there any way to still look amazingly good by dressing simple, by not wearing suit? I love suit, but what about if I don't want to wear suit? How can I still dress in a very unique way? What will you look at if I come to you and say, hey, I like the idea of suit, but how can I make it less of suit? I'm going to wear the suit, but not a lot. What are the things you will still do to be able to get me there?
Like, first of all, everybody has their own style, and I ask those questions. What type of style do they want to project? And also, it's about taking care of what their needs are, and taking a look at what they have in terms of their wardrobe, and little things like just throwing on a blazer could make a big difference, even if you're wearing jeans. Like, not wearing bald caps and those T-shirts with graphics. Just wear plain T-shirts. Those little things make it.
I have trust. That's
No, in terms of like, let's say a T-shirt with a sports team, or
okay.
those little tweaks that you can change. But definitely throwing on a blazer can make a difference. Wearing nice shoes, clean shoes, and wearing nice jeans, well-tailored jeans and fitted. The fit is one big component that I really work with people, because that makes a huge difference. You can have the nicest suit in the world, but if the fit is not there, if it's too big or too tight, you're gonna ruin your outfit.
So, do you help people to choose what they're going to wear as well, or you just give them the idea of the blueprint of this is what I think you should wear based on the conversation we have, based on the consultation? These are things I want you to wear, or you actually help them as well to select the product, the kind of material they should wear. Do you do that as well?
Yeah, we go for personal shopping. So I take them, first of all, we do the consultation, and I present them with options in terms of what they should wear, what colors they should avoid, what type of clothes that they should avoid. And sometimes you need to force them, because a lot of people, it's like having to get them outside of their comfort zone. So I do push them a little bit more to wear colors that they may not have worn before, but then they see the benefits of it, because it's all about based on your skin color, based on your skin tone, based on your size, your body size, proper clothes. Like it's really tailored to the individual.
I'm sure this is not what you started doing before. You were doing something else. As I said, we're going to talk about real estate, but what were you doing before you get into fashion?
Just working in government. I've been working in government for 22 years.
Wow.
But I found that was a way for me. It was an excuse for me to dress up. So I used that. I used every occasion to just dress up. So that's what I was doing. I wasn't really paying attention to the business side of things or entrepreneurship, because what was ingrained in my mind when I was young is go to school, get that university degree, get that stable job. Don't take any risks.
Is that not what we tell every one of us? That's what he told us.
Didn't really work out for me. So
that's it. And when you decide to leave government, because you're married, you're a father,
I'm still with government.
How does your family react that you want to leave a government job and going into, I mean, obviously what you love. You love fashion. It's obvious. But how do you have that conversation with your family to say, this is what I want to pursue?
It's actually funny. I'm still with government, but my wife left her government job in 2019.
Oh, okay.
And what we did when we made the decision is that we weren't going to tell anybody, because we didn't want, exactly for that reason, for people to question us, because of course it's a stable job. You get the same salary, you get good benefits at the end of the day, and you're safe and secure. But we didn't want anybody else to know, because we know that a lot of people would be saying, like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing? Why are you leaving a little job? Like, what more do they need in life? But it wasn't fulfilling for her, and I feel the same way as well for me. Like, I can do more, be more, because I have big goals that I want to accomplish, and I need to be fulfilled. So I need to pursue those goals to be fulfilled.
So let's move back to real estate now, because I remember when I met you, you were actually telling investors or coaching investors there. Apart from you being a real estate coach as well, you're also telling them how to show up, the investors. So where does your real estate journey, how does it start? How do you become an investor? And we're going to talk a little bit about Great Genius as well, which is the community that both of us belong to. How does it start? How do you become a real estate investor? When did you start investing?
I started in 2007, which I thought I was an investor back then, but looking back, that I didn't do it the right way. I wasn't really an investor. I just bought a property because I bought a property with the intention of flipping the property.
Okay.
But I didn't really do any homeworks or anything. I just followed what people were telling us to do to buy a single family home. And that's how you start your investing career. But I had made a lot of mistakes because I didn't have anybody to guide me through the process. So I just thought that the right way to do it was to buy a single family, and I tried to flip it, and it obviously didn't work out.
It didn't work out. So is that in 27 that you started? When did you realize that you need to be in the community, or did you have any real estate coach when you started? I mean, when you start to pivot out of single family, did you have any real estate coach?
That was the turning point for me, because prior to that, I was trying to figure it out on my own. I didn't know that there was such thing as a coach for real estate. I knew that I didn't know that was available to me. So I kept making those mistakes. After a number of years, at one point, I'm like, this stuff doesn't work. I made a lot of mistakes, lost a lot of money, and thankfully, at the right time, I found that my coach and mentor, Alfonso Quadra, and he was very direct and told me that what I was doing, I wasn't doing the right way, and he kind of guided us in terms of how to pivot and how to do real estate the right way, which is focusing on multifamily properties.
And that's what you're doing now. And you're also part of the coaching member of the community now. And when did you join Genius, actually?
In 2018.
2018. That's about, I'll give you 6 years now. Over the last 6 years, because I just become a member of the community like less than a year ago as well. And I can see the impact of that community, the knowledge, what Alfonso have been able to bring together. I have an amazing coach as well, Mandy, who is also amazing, have a lot of experience. And within first 2 months, I knew that, wow, what I thought I was doing before in terms of investing was not actually invested. Where do you focus now in your investment journey? I know you're a coach as well there now. What do you focus now? Are you focused on entirely what kind of investment? Apart from the multifamily we're talking about, are you now 20 unit, 100 units investor now? Where are you on that now?
So I still have some like residential properties that I'm trying to offload.
Yeah.
But now I'm focused more on multifamily properties. And when we talk about multifamily properties, we talk about 7 units and up.
Yes.
Because that's where you can, because once you buy a duplex, triplex, it's good. It's better than a single family home.
Yes.
But it's still a lot of work and not necessarily enough income to pay a property management company to cover, to do that, because managing tenants and getting tenant calls, it's not my thing. I like to, dressing up is my thing. So I'd rather have a property experts to manage the properties themselves.
And the thing is, even the same work you do when you have a duplex is similar to what you're going to do in having a 10 units. So why just restrict yourself into that 2 unit? And I know you have people as well that you also coach with engineers, I said. How are you able now to combine, being a fashion entrepreneur, that this is your business, and being able to bring it into real estate as well to be able to coach investors? And do you have investors as some of your clients? Actually, I think Alfonso is also one of your clients because I think you're helping him on some fashion as well. Do you have investors at your?
Yeah, I work with Alfonso and other members of the community that are realizing the benefits of dressing up. So I do help people, and sometimes I just give free advice because there's things that I see that I cannot not say anything. So sometimes I hold back, but it's just it's coming from a good place. I see a few tweaks here and there because I used to make those same mistakes. So I just share my knowledge there.
I have this question. I actually wrote it down. I said, I'm going to ask you, how many suits do you think a man needs to be able to say yes? You have enough suit to be able to dress up for, like for a week or 2 weeks. How many suits would you suggest for a man?
You can have 3 suits. The basic colors like blue, gray, charcoal, and then you can have a few shirts, so light pink, white, light blue, and then you can mix it up. You can mix it up with the pants, and I'd have to show you how it works, but because I want to make sure that you do the right pair. Right. But it's gonna give you a lot of combinations. Just starting there, that's where I would start. And also with a pair of Oxford, so black shoes, nice clean shoes that you can wear. Or if you want to be a little bit more casual, you can wear Chelsea boots, which is pretty good. It's pretty versatile that you can wear with jeans or dress pants.
That's really amazing. I hope my audience will be able to listen and take a lot of notes and learn from you. If there's anything you want to, okay, let me put it this way. If I walk me through how your style coaching program looks like. So if I come to you now and say, hey, I want to change the way I dress, the way I look, walk me through the process, how you take on a client and what you look out for first before getting them to that level. How does the program work?
So the first thing is you obviously reach out to me and we have a 30-minute to 45-minute consultation where I ask a series of questions. But before that, I send you a pre-questionnaire paper for you to fill out because I want to get a sense of who you are, what are some of your challenges, what do you have right now in your wardrobe, and why do you want to improve the way you dress, because there must be a reason for it. And then we sit down and I can give you some ideas in terms of the colors that you should be wearing, the type of clothes that you should be wearing, and based on your body type as well, your size, because a lot of people don't know their size. It's either too big or too small, and it's okay because I've been there before.
Okay.
I was back in the era where we were wearing baggy jeans. So sometimes baggy jeans, long T-shirts, and but you learn from those times, and you kind of see the type of results that you were getting when you were dressing that way versus now, and it's like, why didn't I do that before? And maybe I wasn't prepared for that too.
From the story you shared at the event that we met, that is where actually I started thinking of dressing as something important part of what should be my business. Like if I'm going for an appointment, I should pay attention to that. Remember you were talking about one of your investment property, you wanted to put a tenant in. You mind sharing that story? Because that's where I'm like, wait, you would have, decided to choose someone else if you didn't just look at the paperwork. I don't know if you remember the story very well.
Yes.
Do you mind sharing that?
Yes, I wanted to rent one of my properties and there was a bunch of people that were lining up to see the property. And I saw this individual. She was the first in line. She had all her documents ready, but I just took a look quickly and I didn't really pay attention to her. I acknowledged her and I didn't really pay attention to her. And then I talked to other people, but she was following me around and she's like, I have everything. I have all the documents, but in the back of my mind, and not to be judgmental, I was like,
it's how you want to see things.
If this is how you dress, like, how are you going to be able to take care of my property? So long story short, I ended up selecting her. We've gone through the process and everything was good. And she was by far my best tenant. But the moral of the story is she could have missed out on that property because of the way she presented herself. So think about it in life. How many opportunities are you losing out based on the way you dress.
And I remember that story very well because I look at it. Does that mean I might have lost some opportunities just because of the way I present myself? So you can't get all the opportunities in the world, obviously, but paying attention, doing a little bit of those, trick on how you dress can actually improve. And I think probably 3 weeks after that event, I went for an event. One of my friends was launching a real estate brokerage, mortgage brokerage, and I just tried to dress different. It's not with suit, but I like the way I dressed that day. I feel good. And when I reached the event, I noticed a lot of people came to me and said, wow, I like the way you dress. So, I didn't do that because of you, but I remember that people came to me, got my contact, we connected, not because they want to work with me, but for sure, the way I dress kind of opened the door for that conversation. So I think it's important, the way we dress, the way we present ourselves. As I said, I know this episode is going to be a very short one. I want you to give me two things. If you want to talk to investor today, as an investor, because I'm going to ask the question in both ways. I know you do both investing, you're a fashion entrepreneur. If you want to talk to investor today, new investor, what would be your key advice to them? What will you tell them to do if they're planning to start now or they just get into investing now? What would be your advice?
I would say, and I know when I say this all the time, it's because, and the reason I say it is I started out the wrong way, and it's because I didn't have, first of all, the education, the guidance, coaching, and mentoring. So I would tell people, get educated. And when I talk about getting education, it's not watching YouTube videos, which is what a lot of us, surrounding yourself with the people that have the goals, that have what you want, that are going to help you achieve your goals. So
even if you get lots of money, which it will cost money to get a coach.
It's an investment in yourself.
Yes.
And the money that I lost by not, when I started out, it paid off investing in myself and getting a coach, because it expedited some of the goals that I wanted to achieve, my growth as well. So this is one big component that people sometimes often overlook. And sometimes it takes for them, sometimes they're not ready. So it might just be, okay, go ahead, go on your own, go make your mistakes and come. I'll see you in a year or two.
The question I want to ask now is, I know you, as we said, you're an investor, you met in that community, we're still part of that community now. But when did you feel like you want to be an investor? Why did you choose to invest in real estate? There are a lot of other things you can invest in. What's the goal with real estate?
The goal is, for me, is to become financially free. And also I have a bigger goal that I know I wouldn't be able to achieve by staying in government it's to build the Caribbean. My parents are from the Caribbean.
Okay.
They came to
Caribbean.
Haiti. So small island, it shares with the Dominican Republic. They came to Canada 50 years ago. And for me, I've always had an attachment with the country, because I wasn't born there, but I was always researching about Haiti. And I know back in the 80s, that was a destination where people went for a vacation. Nowadays, the situation is not
the same
where it should be, but I wanna build schools, go back there, build schools, infrastructure, contribute to rebuilding the country back, because we're in Canada, we're in a land of opportunity, we have an abundance of resources here, but I feel that my help is needed over there.
More
to build things that we take for granted here, like schools, like roads, hospitals. So that's basically my bigger goal. And it's also to leave a legacy for my kids and my grandkids, because I have 3 beautiful girls. So it's just trying to change the course, the direction of my family, just to be able to have something to pass on. Because for me, my wife and I, we built everything that we have, and it wasn't easy. So I want to at least give a head start to my kids and give them something that they can work with, and also teach them that there are other ways that they can make money.
I agree with you. If you hear now, I'm a real estate agent, as I said, as I'm an investor as well. A lot of my clients are able to start their real estate journey because their parents have something for them to start with. We call it parents bank, dad loves bank. I think the goal of people now, anyone listening to this podcast, is how can you create a better life for your kids, or maybe your grandkids, through what you invest in now. A lot of people that are rich today, if you look at them, they actually inherited some of the wealth. So if that wealth is there, it's easier for the kids to kind of grow from there. And obviously, with you teaching them the proper way of investing, they're gonna be able to multiply whatever you need for them. Have you been? Did you go to 80 often, or have you not been?
I just went once.
Okay.
I went once, and I immediately fell in love. It felt good to be there, despite the circumstances. It was a great time, and definitely, it's going to be somewhere where I'm going to establish myself and try to put my footprint and help rebuild. Because when I was young, I thought I could save the world and all that. But even if it's just helping one family, just building one hospital, building one road, it's just starting there and getting other people on board to be able to help me with the vision. And for real estate, we got our girls to invest in one of our projects, and because exactly for that reason, because we wanted to show them that there is a way. The youngest probably doesn't understand what it is, but at least we planted the seed, and it gives them another option once they grow up. And it's up to them to do whatever they want with it. They can't say, "Mommy didn't teach us," but at least we planted that seed. So hopefully they're gonna carry the torch.
I'm sure. I hope they continue to carry the torch. I mean, the kind of person I know you are, you give knowledge, you educate people a lot. So I'm sure the beautiful kids you have in your house should be able to benefit from that as well and learn and be able to use it.
Yeah, although with the money that they made with the investment, I thought they were going to invest in another income-producing asset. But no, they bought a dog. Which doesn't use no return on. There's a lot of love.
A lot involved.
Yeah.
But it's still okay, with time, at least now they know that investing in real estate is something that they can continue to see. Have you started anything investing in 80 yet? Or do you only invest in Canada, actually?
Yes, in Canada so far, but right now I'm looking at investing in the Caribbean. I'm looking at Dominican Republic because of its proximity to Haiti, and also Belize as well is another.
Belize, that's another beautiful country.
Looking for. So my vision is to start buying properties there and start planting seeds there and establish my footprint.
Let's do it, brother. Whenever you have the investment property, they come on, tell me. Maybe I'm going to be the passive investor on this one.
Passive or active, we welcome you.
What about you, Val? What advice would you give my audience now that are listening? Because most of my audience are, real estate investors, entrepreneurs, new couples. They're just trying to start a life, and advice on investing is very important. But now, if you want to give them advice on how they dress, someone just coming into you to listening to this podcast today, what would be your advice on the importance of dressing well? And where do you think they should start? Because a lot of people, and I want to ask you that question, people believe doing all what you're talking about, dressing, cost money. Well, how can they start in a very cost-effective way?
You can start. You don't need to buy the designer suits and designer clothes. You can start in just the regular retail stores where you can find on the clearance rack, you can find a lot of suits. There's a lot of places where you can buy suits for $100 to $200. Start with 3 suits, like I mentioned, the colors that I've mentioned before, and 3 shirts, and that's going to give you a good base, and then you can slowly add on to it. But also you need a blazer. Like, no more walking around with no blazers and just a t-shirt. Like, you will see throwing on a blazer elevates your look, and it's just a simple change that you need to implement.
Thank you so much, Patrice. You're
getting better. You're getting better.
I get it. Patrice, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate your presence today. I know you have a lot of things to do, but thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.